But I know we just had our Munich conference. What did the Munich conference tell us about the America First movement and how that will affect US relationships and with the rest of the world?
Well, the Munich Security Conference, as most of our group knows, has become one of the most important international gatherings of the year, in which government and private sector leaders from around the world get together to talk about global security measures. A year ago, as I know all of you remember, Vice President J.D. Vance went to Munich and delivered a very harsh condemnation of Europe and how it had established its policy and cultural priorities. And it was one of the major contributing factors to the growing rupture between the United States and its longtime European allies. This year, instead of Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio went. And although the substance of Rubio's speech was not all that different than what Vance had talked about a year ago, he delivered the speech in a much more collegial, much more encouraging, much friendlier way. And when Rubio finished the speech, he actually received a standing ovation from the diplomats in the audience. So it's a good reminder to all of us that when even a difficult policy proposal is forwarded, if it's done in a friendlier, more open-minded and open-hearted way, it can receive a much better response. We'll see if that's a lesson that the Trump administration takes to heart going forward. I think it's probably unlikely. The other notable thing about Munich is not just one, not just two, but no fewer than 7 Democratic presidential potential candidates spoke at Munich. The most notable speakers were California Governor Gavin Newsom and New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But several other Democrats as well spoke in order to remind Europe and the rest of the world that not all Americans agree with the very confrontational and sometimes combative Trump agenda as it relates to Europe. So it's pretty clear that both Democrats, but also Rubio's presence, suggests that a lot of people in this country know that even though while the US is much more powerful than Europe, we still do benefit from maintaining that relationship. And Rubio's speech in particular, but the Democratic addresses as well, were designed very specifically to try to reassure Europe and the rest of the world